everybody? Rich Lane, the broker, coming at you with Kevin Peranio, partner at PRMG. I've been wanting to horn in on one of these infamous nightly updates he does. So I seduced him down to a restaurant. Yes, indeed, restaurants are open in Orange County. Also here joining us is Martin Warren, one of the partners over at Nations Direct, and happy to have him here with us. So Kevin, what is happening in the lending world? Give it to us.
Thank you. And we're trying something new tonight, so hopefully everyone likes it. Rich does a really great job. Check him out, Rich Lane over at Arbor. Fantastic company, great people. Local friends here, so thank you guys for coming out. So here we are. We're not live from Corona. We're in Newport Beach, the mean streets of Newport Beach. And today, the Fed flexed its muscle again. Just when you thought the hits wouldn't keep coming, they basically said, you know what? We're just going to keep rates low until 2022. Is that cool with you? You go with that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah?
My phone was ringing off.
How's 0.1% interest rate on the Fed sound?
Outstanding. Sensation. We love it. Business is good.
So it's very interesting. Don't fight the Fed. Jerome Powell, he took over a few years back, and I gotta tell you, I mean, we're at $6 trillion in stimulus that's being shown by the Fed that they've announced to this point. So what does that mean for housing? What does that mean for the stock market? What does that mean for all of us involved here? When you go into a recession, there's a thing about mindset, and people just kind of get down. They dwell on the negatives, like, oh, well, the stock market's going to crash at some point, or these rates won't last forever, or whatever it is. I mean, that's what a recession is. It is a deflation of what was going on, and everything was great before we rolled into this. And now things have gotten, unfortunately, a little bit worse. But the Fed is buying like crazy. So let's position what the Fed is doing in 2020 versus 2008 when we had Bernanke over there. It took 7 years for half the announced $6 trillion we have going out now. It took 7 years with quantitative easing for Bernanke and the Fed to put out $3 trillion worth of stimulus. And look at the epic bull market run that we've had in the stock market. Look at the way rates were in 2009. We had a killer refinance boom in the spring of 2009. This is unprecedented. We have, everything you've ever thought of the way markets work, the way rates are going to work, the way things are going to correct, the Fed is just blown it all out. I read a pretty cool story earlier about Joe Kennedy, who's the father of President John F. Kennedy, and it was in we'll just call it the 20s, and there's a famous story about him. He was getting his shoes shined, and the shoe shine boy was giving him stock tips, and so he said that was his cue to sell all of his stock and get out of the market. Now, for those of us that were in the business in 2008, I was in South Florida, which is kind of like ground zero for, crap loans. We had cab drivers that, I don't even know if they were U.S. citizens, and they owned 10 properties. And they're saying, yeah, let's go. I mean, who's seen The Big Short, right? You've seen The Big Short. Yeah. So, but what's crazy is this time around, we're all getting stock advice, go buy Bitcoin, go buy gold, go buy this, go buy Tesla, whatever. But the Fed is saying it's a go. The Fed is saying it's a go. I mean, it's a go. The 10-year Treasury is like 75 basis points. It ticked up to like 88 last week. It's been in the 80s, it's been in the 70s, it's been in the 60s. If you look at, the push and pull between stocks and bonds, which is traditionally where money goes in our industry, if you were buying the top 100 dividend stocks on the Dow, you would be getting 4.5% more yield than you would if you invested in Treasury bonds. So the stock market is roaring. It's absolutely roaring. And so is it fake? Is it fake? Yeah, it's fake. The Fed is putting $6 trillion to work. It is absolutely fake. It's game on, So, but don't fight it. Like, why fight it? Don't fight the Fed. The bears, they think this is a bear market rally. It might be a bear market rally in a normal instance, but there's $6 trillion at work. So don't fight the Fed, And so for our business, let's kind of reel it in here. So for our industry, the Fed is saying their core inflation target over the next couple of years. If you look, Gary Malice, who's my partner in the company, Chief Strategy and Capital Markets Officer, he sent me an email today. It was just kind of timely because I'm like, hey, I'm going to talk about the Fed today. He sent me this whole. It's basically like a 2020, 2021, 2022 roadmap that the Fed says, here's what we think core inflation, producer inflation. This is where unemployment's going to be. This is where the Fed funds rate's going to be for these next 3 years. They think by the end of this year, by December, the end of this year, we'll have a 9.5% unemployment rate, which is crazy. But, after last Friday's jobs report, could that not be that far off? With a surprise, everyone thought it was going to be 7.5 to 8 million jobs lost, and we gained 2.5 million for the May unemployment. Don't fight the Fed. Don't fight the Fed. So for our industry, rates are going to be low. They're going to be here to stay. We're reflating the economy. We're all very fortunate that the U.S. dollar is the world's denomination. China has to have dollars to invest in our treasuries, or else they're screwed. Their economy's screwed. So the U.S. dollar is strong. The Fed has got our back. Don't fight the Fed. So I think it's a great time to be in our business. I think it's time to keep thinking long term. If you don't like what you're doing or where you're at, just know that the interest rate's going to be low for the foreseeable future. And you can make a move right now. You can go find a better business model to take advantage of this. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity in the mortgage industry to do more than you've ever done in your life, to serve your communities more than you ever have, to help, put people in homes, to make more money in the stock market, whatever it is. Just don't fight the Fed. Don't fight it. So that's it. That's my message for today. And it's kind of cool. I'm usually at my office right now grinding away, and I got to hang out with Martin and Rich. These guys like, let's go meet up, man. They're finally reopening, So we just went to a nice little place in Newport, and it's our food is over there. Just got served. We've had we've had one cocktail, so it's we deserve this. We work our ass off. There's no we work our ass off here. You guys saw me last night at the office till 3:30 in the morning, 4:45 the night before. I'm 3 hours of sleep both nights. We're busier than we've ever been. I know Martin is busy, Rich is busy, everyone I know is busy. Let's go. Don't fight the Fed. Let's go.
Kevin, I say this with all genuineness. You're a beautiful man and you're very smart. I listen to you every night and I get smarter every night. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Rich Lane, the broker, and I'm out.